Morning, everybody. It's 8:10 a.m. January 13th. Hope everybody had a good weekend. This market continues to sell lower, gapping down today. Are we going to get a bounce today? A meaningful bounce? Or are we going to keep selling off? Who knows? Who knows what today holds? All right. Now, I did put a nice trade on a short on Friday. I dropped a video over the weekend. Um, I dropped two videos lately of trades that I took. Hopefully, you checked them out. All right. Now, without further ado, let's get into this. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and buying profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That is my edge. That's the way I look at markets. Okay, and hopefully you guys can join me every day at 8:10 a.m. All right. Subscribe, set an alert. All right. If you enjoy my content, please smash that like button. All right. Now, every day, I give you the news, the story, what's going on in the markets. All right. There's always a story. Right. 10-year yield right now is moving higher. Like, there's a lot of things going on. Semis are getting curbed. But Trump said he's going to reverse that. Trump with his tariffs coming in, he's coming in. There's just a lot of things going on right now, and I try to keep you updated. Okay. Now, 8:30 a.m. usually I give the Nasdaq and ES futures analysis, where I give a long and short trade scenarios for the day. Once the market opens up, that's new data that I have to assess and decide to put risk on. When I decide to put risk on and it's educational, I will upload those videos. Okay, and I'll upload them to my social media accounts. One of them being X at Gonzo719. Also my YouTube shorts, check those out. Okay, also TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. And I'm starting to try to make a big community here in Discord, Confluence Trading. All right, get enough people involved there. Really could start something special here with a community. I'll give a lot more content, and it's one-stop shop. People can go and check it out. Okay, now let's see what's moving markets today in futures. Give me one sec here. Just want to shut my phone off. All right, what do we have today? We have a VIX. A VIX is up 9.52%. We're at a 21.40 VIX. Okay, fear is alive and well. Crude up 1.92%, making a move. Talking about Russia supply constraints, China supply constraints. That's moving markets. I know Japan just had an earthquake, and now there's a tsunami warning. So that's what's going on as well. The dollar's up 0.83. 30-year bonds being bought slightly. 10-year yield is down 0.12. The Dow is down 0.15. ES down 0.67. Nasdaq's down almost a percent. Russell's down a percent. Gold's down a percent. Silver's down 2.89%. Bitcoin, wow, under 92K. They're down 3.72%. Ethereum down 5.83%. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus here. Let's start off with the leader, which isn't really a leader. Boeing only down 0.17. Now we're going to go down to the 1%ers. I'll include Apple in here. It just missed 5%. I got to look into that news again, but what I saw was it missed 5% or was lower of something for sales in China, I believe, with the iPhone, or even here. I can't remember. But that's what's going on there, down from 0.95. AMD continues to fall, down 1.46%. Broadcom down 2.10%. Tesla is down 2.87% despite getting price upgrades. Nvidia down 3%. 3.10%. Coinbase taking a dive, down 4.09%, with Bitcoin going lower. Moving on, top sector stocks. Who do we have leading the pack here? We have United Healthcare. United Healthcare is up 2.84%. Chevron's up. Exxon's up. right? Usual suspects. PepsiCo getting a little lift here. That's been getting destroyed. Johnson& and Johnson just acquired a company. Procter& and Gamble's up 0.12. Now that could mean Staples have been getting crushed. That could mean a little pop for Staples if this market continues with real yields going higher. All right, some laggards here. Salesforce down 0.70, Uber down 1.17, Snowflake down 1.35, and Qualcomm down 1.54. Moving on to my swing trade list. Let's go to leaders here. We have Humana, that's healthcare, up 4.13. CVS up 2.69. Lululemon up 2.10. They just raised financial guidance for quarter four, I believe. Five Below up 1.74. ConocoPhillips up 1.29. And Devon Energy up 1.19. I see the laggards today. Abercrombie and Fitch down 9.27%. Riot down 4.75. Edward Life Sciences down 4.43. MicroStrategies down 4.42. Mara's down 4.26. Regeneron down 3.86. Palantir down 3.79. Bitcoin ETF down 3.60. Supermicrocomputers down 3.53. Taiwan Semiconductors down 3.30. Affirm down 3.22. SoFi down 3.18. All right. There's more laggards, but I just gave you the three percenters. All right. Moving on to the sectors, the gut of the market, the guts of the market. All right. Energy. Energy is the lone leader, up 0.69. Energy does not move the markets though, so take that as you will. Who's down today? Financials down 0.40. Discretionary down 0.77. That's your Amazon, your Tesla, your Home Depot. Technologies down 1.04. That's your Nvidia, Microsoft, and your Apple. Semiconductors, obviously AMD, Nvidia, Qualcomm, down 2.10%. All right. Now, we're going to get right into economic calendar and the news. We're actually going to be looking at the week. Now, I am not going to be here most likely tomorrow. Probably won't at all. My grandma, who was 101, passed away last week. So, yeah, we're having her funeral tomorrow. The wake is today, but the wake is not until later today. So I'm gonna probably be cutting out maybe at 11 or something today from trading. But I won't be in tomorrow. Now, looking at today, a monthly budget statement that doesn't mean much to me. Tuesday PPI. Then you got Fed speak. Wednesday you got 30-year mortgage and CPI. All right, followed by more Fed speak. Thursday retail sales, initial jobs claim, Philly Fed, retail sales. All right, and Friday you have not really much going on for Friday, but big one this week is CPI. Then you have earnings this week, starting some bank earnings. I believe it's Citibank. Let's see here if I can pull that up real quick. All right, let's see here. We have, what do we have here? Citibank, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Bank New York Mellon. What else here? We have Taiwan Semiconductor, United Health Group, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley. Big bank earnings, right? PNC. Who else here? Citizens. All right, so that's the earnings this week. All right. See if I can get some more news for us real quick. Let's get to some news here. Okay. Looks like U.S. tightens its grip on AI chip flows across the globe. U.S. government said it would further restrict artificial intelligence chip and technology exports, divvying up the world to keep advanced computing power in the U.S. and among its allies while finding more ways to block China's access. So that's pretty much not great for semis, right? It says U.S. banks will probably report stronger earnings this week, fueled by robust deal making and trading in the fourth quarter. The six biggest U.S. lenders have benefited from a resurgence in the investment banking in recent months. J&J to buy intracellular therapies. All right. U.S. oil refiners brace for a tough year as investor sentiment turns negative. Investors are souring on the U.S. oil refining sector, citing forecasts for softer fuel demand and worries that President-elect Donald Trump may slap tariffs on imports of crude. Moderna cuts 2025 sales view on the slow start to RSV shot, weak COVID vaccine demand. Moderna cuts its 2025 sales for about 1 billion. All right, let's move on to see what else is in the news here. Abercrombie and Fitch, the company raises annual net sales growth target for the current quarter, helped by strong demand for its apparel collections during the holiday shopping season. The company now expects fourth quarter net sales to grow between 7 and 8% compared with the prior target of 5%. I don't know why it's selling off, but it is. Here, let's talk about Apple. The iPhone maker has abused its dominant position by charging app developers on an unfair 30% commission through its App Store, costing British consumers up to 1.8 billion. All right, that's not what I wanted to talk about from before. All right, here's some healthcare. The U.S. government on Friday proposed 2026 reimbursement rates for Medicare Advantage plans run by the private insurers that would result in a 2.2 increase in payments compared with a decline. All right, so that's why United Healthcare is up, Humana is up, and CVS is up. Okay. Lululemon, the Vancouver-based company, raises fourth quarter sales and profit targets as the sportswear maker benefit from strong demand for its apparel during the holiday shopping season. Okay. Nvidia, the chip maker, criticized a new effort by the Biden administration to tighten Washington's grip on artificial intelligence chip flows around the world, saying the regulation would jeopardize current U.S. leadership in AI. Okay. Taiwan Semiconductors, Taiwan-based chip maker, has begun producing advanced 4 nanometer chips for U.S. customers in Arizona. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo told Reuters a milestone in the Biden administration's semiconductors efforts. All right. Now we got a cut. An Nvidia HSBC cuts target price to 185 from 195. All right. I think that does the news. I think that does the news here. We can go to upgrades, downgrades, see if that's got anything for us today. All right, let's look at this quickly. Cat. Cat has got an upgrade. What else here? Chewy upgraded. Etsy upgraded. KLAC upgraded. All right, Wix upgraded. All right, let's go to downgrades. All right, let's go to price targets. Sometimes this list is not the best. Let's see. We'll go with raises first. Walgreens Board Alliance target raised. Tesla target raised. Constellation Brands target lowered. Then we're going to target lowers. What else here? All right, that's it. I'm just gonna go into daily charts. Let's do daily charts. Not sure who's with me today. Not sure Rosita's with me. G-Man, give me a shout if you're there. Always like seeing who's here. If not, I'm by myself. It's fine. Okay. Let's look at what we did in SPY. All right, now 580 was a very, very key level. We broke it, but we closed above, right at the previous week's lows, right? Also a previous month's lows. Okay, very important level, right? So it seemed that it defended it on Friday. Okay, 100-day moving average is there as well. Where are we at now? 577. Let's call it 10. We are down here. 577.10. All the way down here now. Gapping down. Okay, gapping down. Next major support level is 568.44. 568.44, what happens to be also a previous, like a November's lows in the month. Okay? Who knows what we do? All right? Who knows what we do? Now, let's look at this together and in futures just to get a better look. All right? So you can see pushing through last week's lows. We're getting some buying here. Now, a big level to look at here is a couple here, 5,800. All right, that's a low volume node. I'll talk about that later. We're at a high volume node, and I'll show you that later too, at 5,830. That's really key. If you hold value below 5,830 or go above it, I believe that should be a bull bear line. Okay, 5,830. We'll get into that later. All right, let's look at the Qs. Now, the Qs also had a 505 level, right? That was the previous week's lows. We broke that, right? This 505 level. However, closed above it, right? And you can see the Qs aren't even by the 100-day moving average, right? They're not even by there. Now, where are we now? 502, let's call it 60. 502.60. We are right here, gapping down. Not as large, but gapping down. All right. And if you look to the left, there's some support here around 502. Okay. Next major level is 496.56. That's right at the 100-day moving average. 100-day moving average. Okay. Let's look at futures. And you can see in futures, we tagged a 100-day moving average. Okay. Got some buying excess here. All right. And like I said, this is last month's lows. We're underneath that. We're underneath last week's lows. You do have support if you look to the left, right around here at 206.83. Okay. There's your daily charts. Now we can move over to our triple headed monster. Let's go to our 10-year yield, that bond market. Okay. It's been rising, right? That's been rising, which is not going to be friendly to equities. Okay. It's just not going to be friendly. All right. You can see this resistance area broke here at 4.73 yield. We went up as high as 4.798 yield. That's last week's highs. It's selling off a little bit. People might be buying bonds today. Well, they not might. They are. And you just have to see, does this can continue hard, or do people start buying these bonds, right, which will drive the yields lower, which should then maybe give stocks a little relief. The higher these go, more people are going to look at the bond market and say, I can buy a 10-year yield and get 5%, or wait and see if this market might have a down year and you can sit there and have a nice return, a guaranteed return, right? Now, let's look at the dollar. That dollar's been rising. Other currencies have been getting weaker. Okay. Most countries, Germany's in a recession. The UK also close to a recession. China is in like almost deflation. So, and where do people go? Park their money in America, right? The reserve currency of the world is the dollar. Okay, so people shove their money here. Okay, so dollar is still moving up. Now the VIX, that's our fear gauge. All right, that VIX was up almost to a 22, coming down to a 21. So should have nice volatility today. All right, you should have very nice volatility. There is fear in these markets. We're at a 21 VIX. All right, 16 VIX is 1% expected move, plus or minus in the S&P 500. 21 VIX obviously is more than that, so expect large range today. All right, now we can move on to the main event. That would be our market profile, volume profile, right here in the ES. All right, let me get my marker out. Good old trusted marker. All right, now to do a couple things here. We'll look at the session on Friday, and I can show you where I shorted. Okay. Trying to remember where I shorted here. I think it was in here. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at this. So I made a video on this so you can check it out. But we basically had an open test drive. We opened here and then broke the lows, the previous lows, okay, which would be right here. We drove down, all right, all the way down to here. I wanted to short some pops. We got the pop right here. I shorted it around here somewhere, and then I rode that all the way down. Took some off at the low a day. Was waiting to get this hit 58.30. It didn't, so stop get triggered around right here. Nice trade, real nice trade. Always could have managed it better, but I'm happy with the trade. And then we rallied. Let's just show that real quick. We rallied right here pretty hard, but then that fell apart, and that is not a great sign. Okay, that rally just was taken out. Okay, so what do we have today? So we're gapping down. So here's our gap fill right there. All right, gap fills right there. Now, large gaps are not easy to trade. Okay, so go gap rules here. Now, what's the weakest situation? A gap and a go. We just open and we gap and go. Right? Number two, a little less bearish, is we fail to fill the gap and roll over. Number three, you fill the gap and roll over. Okay? Now, if the market happens to go back into Friday's range, that just means the sellers aren't as strong. Okay? The sellers aren't as strong. Doesn't mean you can't roll over. It just you go back into range. That's a little feather in the cap for bulls. Okay, so that's gap rules. All right, now let's look at some levels together. Okay, we do have levels to look at here. All right, now you have last week's lows. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing. That's here. These are monthlies. So this level becomes pretty a nice level here. Okay, it is 58.66, which happens to be overnight highs, right? Happens to be the most traded price of Friday. So let's call it 58.67. Okay, I would say right now that's a mini bull bear line. Now we also have this high volume node of 58.30, which is right here. You can't see the high volume node unless I bring you to a different chart, which I will. Okay, you want to see the market at least accept value over here and then try to get over to 58.67 level. Okay, and real quick, let's just look at that together. You can see right here, okay, high volume node right here, 58.31. Call it. The market needs, right, to find acceptance back over this in order to see if maybe we bounce back up. Okay, now what did we hit? Do you see this low volume node here? I talked about this, I believe, on Friday morning, around 58.02, 58, right? We basically almost came down to, which is a very, very big support level. That's why it's a low volume node here. Okay, that could be the temporary bottom for now. Like I said, though, I'd want to see the market accept value above this level. Okay, just making sure you guys understand why this box is on my chart. Okay, so it's very important. Now, we did come into 12-hour demand here and we're bouncing. That is a demand zone. Why? Because that 58 lines up with it, right? So we have that. Okay, we have that. Now you do have an incomplete profile to the downside in this overnight. See how there's like no excess here? There's no excess there. If we open up this profile, we should see multiple TPOs, they call them, in market profile. Yeah, it's almost triple bottom there, right? And it's getting defended. That means that shorts had poor location. However, this needs to be corrected. Now, will it be corrected today? I don't know. But if you correct it, you could test that 5800 again and get a nick bounce, or you break 5800 and wow, that would be pretty weak. Okay, that would be pretty weak. Now, let's put this back. and move on with, okay, now we have inventory to talk about, right? This is your open of the overnight. The only long activity is that. This is all short, okay? Now, we're right now close to the midpoint of the session, so it's not as, if we were down here, I'd be like, ooh, this could be a possible fade along, right? But we're kind of in the middle, so, and we have that incomplete profile to the downside. Okay, so in my brain, I'm already thinking what I would like to see. Okay, we do have supply here. We do have supply here. Lines up where 58.67 level. Okay, now the midpoint of Friday session is 58.83. That's the 50% retracement of Friday. 50% retracement of Friday. Now, our rolling composite vote and buying profile of the week. You have excess here from today. This could be turned into the next most traded price of the week, 58.64. Now we have value area up here. So value is still up here. Okay. Let's call it 58, 59.55. Value is still up here. So it's the job of the market to bring value lower. So you can make it next like lower. If you come above here, you're going to go return to value. All right. Now, let's just get right into scenarios. And this was your market profile and volume profile. First, I got to announce that. My bread and butter. And right now, what I want to look at is I want to look at scenarios. Okay. And today I will start with the bearish case. Okay. The bearish case. Now we already know about 58.30, right? Right in this box. Got supply here. Okay. So if I'm a bear, couple things to see here. So if we come up here and struggle in this supply, can't establish value of 58.30, come through it, this demand zone, right? Remember this incomplete profile. Okay, I'm going to want to take out that overnight low, correct this poor structure here, and then you're going to have a big decision for the market at 5,800. That's a big, big support level. Big, right? Big support level. Let me see if I can show you real quickly a better why. Let's see here, right here. Yeah, see this right here? Let's take this down so I can really show you. Okay, so this is the low volume node right here. If you look across, we kind of came here. Look, you have, this is dailies. 4 daily candles stopped here. Then you have poof, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 daily candles. That's just a monster level. Now you don't have to hit things exactly, but we did kind of hit that, and people are probably going to want to take some profits. So this is why I'm talking about it. Okay, this is why I'm talking about it. Move over back here. All right, now the other thing I'm talking about is if we come up into this level. Okay, this is a monthly, look, it's monthly lows of last month. Okay, right into here, most traded price. This is the next supply zone too. Okay, if you try to get over it and you fail, right, and the market is even if it's in parity, I'm fine. You can get a nice short here, probably take some profit off 58.30, come down here and break. And that, if that breaks, woof, crazy. Okay, that's what I'm looking for on the short side. Now on the long side, right, what I'd be waiting for, okay, would be this. All right. Now also I should have put in here, I apologize, our 58.45 gap fill lines up with last week's lows. We could also just come here, right here, and roll over. Okay, that's another one. All right, now moving on to the long side. All right, now for the long side, we already know we're 100% net short. And if you look up here, okay, you got short up here, you're getting paid. Then you got lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. A lot of shorts getting paid. Okay, a lot of shorts getting paid. So you got to look at that. Overnight hands are weak, so we're almost 100% net short. Okay, so what I would expect, okay, for the long side, like I said, this profile is incomplete. If you break that and you go to the edge of this demand, even the 58, which is a naked VPOC, which is just an untested most traded price of a day, and we do bounce, and let's say the market is not that weak, it's just not very weak. and we get some higher lows, yeah, I'm gonna go long here, and then I'm gonna probably target 58.30 and see if we can bust out, break this supply and hold, and then your next test is 58.60, the 68.70, 67 area, the 58.67 area. If you can bust through that and you can start making up, man, you could test Friday's highs right here. Okay, it's probably the only thing. Well, no, that's not true. Okay, let's say this happens. Okay, this is what also could happen. Okay, we could push up, fill the gap, and let's say we pull back to the 58.30 area and we just start holding and holding. Well, I'm probably might be interested if the market's kind of stronger to bust through this and start cracking up as well. It's probably that's it though. Once you go below here, unless it's some bear trap where we come down real quick, V recovery, and then it's like on, right? That's what I'm looking at. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Pellegrino. Used to have a friend that had that last name. Not sure if you're him. I doubt it, but his name was Anthony. Not sure. I doubt that's you, but um, I don't know when I might have missed that. Good morning. I apologize if I missed it, but I'm looking at it now. All right, let's move over to the Nasdaq here. Hopefully you are a subscriber, Pellegrino. All right, let's look at this together. All right, let's look at this together. Now, let's look at some structure here. All right, we got value still up here. Oh, you're a Pellegrino, huh? Okay. All right. Of course, I know who you are now. Bravo. All right. So 21350 is our most traded price still of the week and of the month, right? It's the most traded price. It's very important, right? Up here. So we got value up here. 70% of the trading volume of the last week is still up here. So what's the job of the market, right? The job of the market is prices down here. The job of the market is to take this value and make price come, I mean, value come to price. So you want to start establishing a new value down here, right? You'd want to move this down here. And if it moves, then that means most likely a leg lower. Okay? If it doesn't move, if you can't get value to come to price, price returns to value. Okay? Price returns to value. Okay? That's I'm showing you that in a composite volume profile that goes for a regular volume profile of a day. It's all the same. It's the same logic, the same theory. Okay. Now let's look at what we have going on here. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, okay, the midpoint, the 50% retracement of Friday's session lines up exactly pretty much with the overnight highs right here. All right there. Also have supply, also have the close. So this becomes a very important level, 210.37. Very important. Okay, very, very important. Also kind of happened to be the previous overnight sessions lows. Okay. Now, that's one I want to talk about, right? Now we have a 60-minute. There was a big 12-hour demand in the past. So this is a key support level, okay, in the NASDAQ. We did come down here. Now there is a 60-minute demand. Those aren't as strong, right? But it's bouncing from it. Okay, I don't have to go over gap rules. I don't have to go over gap rules. I just did that with the ES. Okay, so the gap fill is around 208.74 right here with last week's lows. That's going to be our gap fill. Now, gap rules I already told you about, right? We're kind of close to filling this gap. Okay, like I said, the ES has hit a key level. Now, the NASDAQ has hit a key area. Okay, the Nasdaq is in a key area. So let's see, the most traded price was up here. So I'm just looking at certain levels. All right, looking at what I like to see. There's a little gap here, unfilled gap down here, that it came right to the tick of that. That's amazing, right? Okay, we have single prints here. Don't count as cleaned. They don't count that they're clean because this is the overnight session. We only count those as clean as an RTH session. Okay, the real-time trading hours 9:30 to 4:15 p.m. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna show you the Nasdaq. All right, in volume profile world here. Let's do that. That's not it. This is it. Okay. So remember, markets move from high volume node to high volume node. Okay. So remember, the market only bases or is in a range in trends. Bases, trends, range, trend, range, trend. That's how the markets move. Okay. So we know the most traded price of this year is 213.45 right here. You can see this hot pink signifies this year's profile. Okay. Now you can see, where did the market come down to? This high volume node right there. Okay. And the market has bounced right here at the edge of it. Now, if the market was to happen to find value below here, your next move would be to hit this high volume node. Okay. Now, what could the market do? It could rip right back up to this. So just keep that in mind. And it's all market generated information, and it doesn't happen in 5 minutes. Okay. Got to make sure they understand that. Little price action can fool anyone when you look at it. Okay. When you look at it. All right. So let's go back. Okay. Let's go back. And now we're going to set some scenarios. Okay. Let's push that up. Oh, I forgot to do that with my ES. That's all right. Okay, so we are going to start with bear. Okay, all right, we are going to start with the bear. And now we have our gap fill right here at last week's lows. All right, 208.74. We're almost there. You have a supply zone right here. This is week to date anchored VWAP. I don't really judge that too often in the beginning of the week. Okay, that is from the start of Sunday. I mean, sometimes it's important, but I mean, I like to be in the middle of the week to that start to matter. All right, now, so what can we see here? All right, push up, fill the gap. That could be all she wrote in that supply zone. Clean those single prints, and then you're going to test. Try to test. You got to break this. Test the overnight lows. Now you don't have a poor profile in the Nasdaq. You have some excess here. So you have 206.93 is the low. Maybe you fill that gap, and then there's a high volume node right there, right? Now, what also can happen? You also can push into here, edge of this supply rollover as well, right? And we have all the way up to the 210.37 level. Remember this level I was talking about? 50% retracement, last month's lows, and the close, and the overnight high. Okay, I like to call that a weak high, confluence high. So if we come up here, this is the bull bear line for right now in the Nasdaq. Okay, what do we do when we come in here? Do we do one of these? Oh, then I'm going to want to be a seller, right? And see what we can do. But this all matters. Remember, all this matters with what the market tells me at the open. And then as time starts counting into the day, it starts building a narrative, a picture for the day. And then I apply these principles to that. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So that's about all I want for short. If we start establishing price above this level, I don't want to be short. Okay. Now, let's go to the long side. All right. Long side here. All right. Now, price is right here on the long side. Okay. The most traded price of the overnight is right here at around 208, basically at the gap fill. Okay. So it's very interesting. Now, what we could do is a couple things. You come in here, fill the gap, boom, you go into demand. And now if the market is not weak, okay, and you come in here and test that demand, you bounce out and the market is not weak, you can rip through these single prints. Then you go to supply, fill the gap. Obviously, I would probably take profit there and then see if you can bust this supply. If you can bust this supply, you're going to deal with the next supply zone in the previous month's lows, the close, and the overnight highs. This is that weak high. Bulls want to break this. If you break that and you start holding, and then you got to deal with the most traded price of Friday, we can start pushing up and hit Friday's highs. Okay, we are definitely oversold, but I'm not a guy who's going to tell you, oh, RSI is this, so I go long on the RSI. I don't do that. It is oversold, and it can go lower. But you have to, like I said, think about how many sellers have been getting paid, right? A minute that you take something significant out like this, to 1037, in my opinion, would be significant, and you held it. Shorts are going to cover. Take profits. Okay? Shorts are going to cover. Now, the only other thing here is if we break this low, fill the gap, come down to this high volume node, maybe you get a bounce. This is all if the market's not that weak, okay? And you could possibly come up to here. And maybe in this one of these scenarios, you just kind of hold here. And if you build out value, then that's bearish in the overall picture, okay? Hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you, Bravo, if you're still there, okay? That would be it for me today. All right. Hope you enjoyed that analysis. Okay. Smash the like button if you did. Smash that like button if you did. Okay. Now, hopefully you join me every day at 10 a.m., 8:10 a.m. Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, have a cup of water. Driving to work, in the shower, whatever. I'm going to give you the recaps of the market, the leaders and the laggards. What's going on? What's the story of the markets? There's always a story to be told, right? And don't get seduced by price action because it's very easy to. Okay? That's why I was trying to lean on my internals, right? Because I see the guts of the market. Doesn't matter what price is doing. I have to see if it's capable of being very weak, being very strong, or being in parity, right? Where there's just a battle. So, just giving you that. Now, if like I said, from these trade scenarios, the market opens, then I decide to put risk on or risk off. If I decide to put risk on and it's an educational trade that I feel like I can show you the criteria and very clearly, I will post it. Where will I post that? That would be on my YouTube Shorts, right? That would be on X at Gonzo719. Okay. That will also be on TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. And I'm trying to build a community, all right, in my Discord, Confluence Trading. Now, my man here, Bravo Pellegrino, right? He's there. He's enjoying it. Hopefully, more people can join and we start to build something together, right? Start to unite. We get a bunch of volume profile, market profilers, right? That's the goal. That's the goal, okay? So, with that being said, we have our plans today, all right? I'm probably going to cut out, not probably, I will be cutting out probably like 11. So, if I don't have a trade, I'm probably not going to trade. But we'll see. I expect volatility. And I wish everybody good luck today. Stay green. Remember, no trade is a trade. So have a great day, everybody.